on the referendum and some of those seats?
Thank you very much once again, Mike. I think, as I always say, Kenyans, sometimes we need to think through things. One, I am aware, and all Kenyans are aware, including you and my colleagues who are seated here, that at the amalgamation of this constitution, it was acknowledged across the board that there were some sections of this constitution that needed a review. And according to that same constitution, for us to review it, we need, we need a referendum. And I think that is the departing point for me. I think all that I need to say, I would concur with one of the viewers who was saying that lest it be hijacked and made political. I would wish that if we have to go for referendum, like I think we should, then we should be objective, we should be sober in only thinking of those parts of the Constitution that actually need to be changed or modified for the good and the benefit of this Republic of Kenya.
Okay.
Meanwhile, on the positions, may I say categorically that a position like women's representative, I think Kenyans, we should stop pushing forth and back. At some stage, there was an outcry, and there is still an outcry in this republic that women have been marginalized over the years as far as issues of leadership, political decisions, and balancing of the question, and even representation is concerned. And this is actually what informed the decision to create this position. And to be honest with you, I want to tell you the overall budget per year that the women representatives have been allocated to use in the counties is only 2.1 billion. And I want to report to the nation, if there is any fund that has been touching the people of this republic, especially the needy, the people with disability, orphans, widows, you know, those unreachables of the communities, to be honest, I think Kenyans should wake up and give the women rep kudos for using that little money to touch and turn lives that would otherwise not been been touched.
Okay.
On the overall, just allow me to say this. The issue of the budget being targeted or tagged to the positions, like the Senate or whatever, to me, I still say no. Why? Kenyans, we are running away from a serious reality. If you look at where, like the Anti-Corruption Authority and the auditors, where they say our money is getting lost and wasted, is the issue of corruption. A figure of a whole 600 billion is lost per year in this country through over-corruption. So let us use this time to address the genuine issues that are really affecting us and not trying to divert attention.
All right.
I think that's my take.
I see Honorable Sangok shaking his head, but I'll come to you. Allow me to have Barack Muluka weigh in on this, because I think even in the previous segment he had not said anything. But your thoughts on a referendum and whether Kenya is ready for one right now?
See, the Constitution itself anticipates the possibility that it would be changed, amended from time to time. It anticipates that it can be amended through Parliament and by Parliament. It also anticipates that we can go back to the people to seek certain parts of it to be amended, and that would be through a referendum. And so, in principle, it is possible that Kenyans may want to go to a referendum. They may want to change parts of the Constitution. I don't know which ones. But in practice, we have got more fundamental questions that we need to raise and answer. Why are we talking about a referendum? What do we want to change? And one starts being a little suspicious that there are certain selfish, almost whimsical agendas within this whole thing, that there are even certain impracticalities. Indeed, it starts bordering on 2022 succession politics, that someone is seeing this constitution sitting the way it is favors so-and-so. Hence the kind of spat that we are seeing between the deputy president and the former prime minister and with their people behind them. Then there are even questions of practicality. Do we seem to contradict ourselves? One of the things that the ODM, because they're the ones who are pushing for this referendum, they have flagged the question of IEBC. They are saying we want to go to a referendum so that we can reform IEBC, have an IEBC that is more responsive to the needs of the electorate. We don't trust this IEBC. Let us have a referendum. Then you quickly realize that even that referendum will have to be conducted by the same IEBC that they have no faith in, that they would like to reform, and it becomes the question of the hole in a bucket that we want to use to draw water, and we go round and round in circles. Finally, it speaks to, in my view, a lacuna, and a very serious one, in this handshake issue. And each time we talk about these handshake things, they tend to be trivialized. And I was talking about trivia and letting down the public. What is in this handshake thing? What are the things that the president and Raila Odinga have discussed and agreed upon? What kind of dialogue are they engaged in? Is it something that is private for the two of them, such that someone will come out and say, as part of this handshake initiative, we are going to have a referendum, and the deputy president of the country and the people around him are saying, no, 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 this is not part of what we have, we are expecting, we are anticipating. It is imperative that this handshake is unbundled, that it goes beyond the two individuals, and it becomes the property of the country, so that we can talk about it soberly.
All right, Honorable Sango.
Yes, first of all, allow me, first of all, to comment on the issue of corruption. You know, corruption is a cancer that is eating our flesh and bones. It is actually destroying our future, and we have